there, right there.
Dude, you okay?
I was just making sure I get everything. They coming. Thank you. They was coming. I'm like, damn. See, now that's how the shit. You wouldn't make that shit today. That, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, it's supposed to be black unless you shook it up, because if you shake it up, it'll turn all creamy.
Yeah, man, in that treat we used to make it Friday. They had the three layers of chocolate, 3 levels of colors like that. I forget what they call it. Bailey's Cooler, I think they called it.
Oh, Bailey's will do that.
Yeah, Bailey's Cooler. It was an ice. It was kind of like a ice drink. And at TGIF Fridays, they had Bailey's, and it looked like that. Dark on the bottom, caramel in the middle, and light brown on the top. And all the black folks love that shit. I used to fuck that shit up too.
Damn, it's still hard to get to Canada? What's going on? They just waiting to slip? What? They just said, fuck it, I'm gonna sleep. Yeah, them niggas sleep. They sleep. Nigga, it was crowded yesterday.
Really?
Baby, it was crowded. That shit was all the way back to the point where we thought we was gonna have to take the other way. But that's how far the trucks went back. Where you couldn't even see the lane no more.
That's fucking. You ain't seen that in a long time.
Right. It's like you couldn't even see the other lane. Like, no, you can still. No.
Oh boy. Yeah, yesterday was, but it didn't go fast. It was like, I took a lunch, so I was there all the way to 9:30. But I guess because I'm not, like I said, most of my time now is like cleaning up, because the shit we put on the shelves, the motherfuckers run through it. And by the time I get to work at 1 o'clock, nigga, it ain't, dairy is thrashed. I mean, it's trashed, you know what I'm saying? So, that's the first thing I do. Because if I wait till the end of the night, some shit might throw off my night where I can't get to that. So I learned to do that first, right? I do that first. I knock that shit out the way, get all that cardboard shit out the way, make it presentable. Then I go back and do other shit. Because before I used to do it at the end of the night, and sometimes where the night would go, I couldn't get to it because, had a delivery or whatever, but last night was just, no eggs, you know what I'm saying? I had a half a pallet and a U-boat with the boxed eggs, the eggs that come in boxes. And then I was going to make a video of our cooler, how the cooler looks, because...
You don't have to do that.
Yeah, because I'm like, I have a before how our cooler used to be when I first started working there. And I was thinking about, let me show a before and after, like what our shit looking like now. Nigga, I can do cartwheels up in that bitch. Okay? I can do it before, but I can really do cartwheels in that motherfucker now. And I'm like, and I'm not seeing a shift, like, of improve. It's like, it's getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm like, now it's getting to the chickens, nigga. The chickens ain't laying no eggs no more. Or they just not bringing these eggs to us.
Well, you have to look at right now. The truckers overseas are starting to strike. They're striking. Like, they like, motherfucker, unless you pay us more, we ain't doing shit.
Yeah, but over here, they sabotaging shit. Blowing up trains with livestock on it.
Oh, really? That's what's going on?
Yeah, that's a recent thing that happened to train tracks. Train full of livestock.
Livestock, and that's where we get most of our grains from, too.
Yeah.
So that's the feed of livestock.
Yeah, and remember the white boy? And remember the white boy I just posted from TikTok? He was saying most of our shit come from what? The train line.
70% of the grains come that
And
way.
now look what just happened. That just happened. So everybody like, y'all niggas ain't slick. So now, yesterday, 2 days in a row, we've ran out of whole milk. Meaning that there's no more milk to put on the shelf, bitches. I don't have any. Okay?
Use that shit you got in the freezer, nigga. Oh, wait a minute. You can't fucking sabotage the city no more, bitch. You should have been saving that shit for yourselves instead of gouging the people in Detroit.
Yup.
And $4 half pint
Yeah,
prices.
dude, that's what I'm saying.
Bitch.
So now we got 1,000 half-gallon whole milk. Nigga, you know how much half gallons I had to put up yesterday because they was going through that shit, buying 6 at a time. And of course, an Indian. Oh, I got that video. An Indian filled up his cart full of milk. I made that video. I'm like, look at this shit. This motherfucker, nigga, you see shit scarce up in here. But you got that cart full of that milk though, bitch. Your store gonna be alright. But this might be the last run you have, guy. That's what I'm saying in my mind. It's like, y'all motherfuckers ain't gonna be able to come up here and do this no more.
The fact that store let them do it is hilarious.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, nigga.
Exactly. The fact that y'all are getting away with it and y'all know it. This is the store that y'all made the agreement with. His wife ran by a Chaldean. And then all your Chaldean friends get the hookup.
Yeah.
I wish black folks had something like that set up, because these Chaldeans out here got this, the American dream.
No, I
nigga.
don't wish nobody had that set up. I wish you go to a store where it's set up like that, like a Sam's Club, bitch.
They can't, because they're not documented.
Exactly. So
you know,
it wouldn't fucking happen.
Because they sending their nephews and cousins and, you know, they send, you know, because the motherfucker they sending it to get the milk don't look like they running nothing. Now, let's just put it that way. They don't look like they running nothing.
They got the fucking, no, those
but
the motherfuckers who got the,
But they the runners.
but they the runners with the motherfucking card.
Right, they the ones who go to the store and take all the milk out and gotta have this dumb look on their face. Even the Indian was looking crazy yesterday. I'm like, bitch, I gotta catch you on camera with this shit. Yeah, bitch, them crackers is watching you, looking crazy, walking through the stove with a fucking cart full of goddamn gallon milk, bitch.
But ain't nobody check his ass.
But nigga, but
yeah,
no,
I'll be
but
the
see,
motherfucker
now,
checking his ass. Like, nigga, what you gonna do with all that goddamn milk? Can I get some milk?
But now, these motherfuckers are turning heads while they walking. It's like, bitch, yeah, motherfuckers wasn't paying you. Now shit scarce. You getting head turns, nigga. Walking here, I'm walking through the cooler following him and catching all the people looking at him back in. I'm like, yeah, nigga.
But ain't nobody say shit though.
Of course not, because this is their thing. But I'm like, in a minute, these motherfuckers about to get riled up. They gonna be like, bitch, what the fuck you doing?
But I ain't gonna never forget the story Mark told me. This guy I used to work with in the lab at Marysville.
Right.
He said, you know, it's one of them. I think it was one of them little games. One of them little games or whatever. It was the hot game or whatever for that time. That motherfucker had like 7 of them bitches. And then cause he just grabbed 7. He like, damn, nigga, really? You know, Mark like 6'6".
Right.
Like 300. Like, not fat though.
Right.
Like big old country Irish motherfucker. That motherfucker said he walked to that man's cart, grabbed one out, and walked away like, bitch. You saw me coming over there to get it. And you just gonna grab like 7, 8?
Oh,
yeah. But yeah, he walked over to our man's car, pulled that shit out, and walked away with it like, bitch.
I'm about to start seeing some shit like that. And I'm gonna have my shit camera ready, nigga.
And you are not about to say nothing to that country Irish motherfucker.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Them white folks rubbernecking. It's like, y'all ain't gonna be able to just walk through this bitch like this. Yee, hey. Like, now motherfuckers is paying them notice to like, bitch, you walking out here with way too much milk for one motherfucker. Bitch. So I'm gonna see how long this is gonna last. That's why I'm like, let me grab this video. Cause he gonna give me a dumbass look. And I'm sitting here just filled the fucking milk.
Oh, he had the nerve to give you a look.
Yeah. And he took out 2 shells worth of milk.
Oh, fuck, I couldn't be there.
2 shells worth of milk, nigga.
And I'd be like, bitch, what the fuck you looking at?
And so I'm maxing out. I gotta redo all the work I just did. So before I did that, I grabbed my phone. I'm like, bitch, I'm putting your ass on camera. I'm about to make you famous, bitch. Because I'm like, black folks ain't got the luxury to do this. Let us go in somebody's store and walk out with a cart full of fucking milk. I just want to do it for a social experiment, nigga. That's how bad. I just want to do it for a social experiment.
With the bacon. The bacon, they like, nigga. Did you scan all the bacon, nigga?
Shit crazy, dude. Like I was telling him, it's like, man, the game is motherfucking rigged, nigga. I said, next time y'all at that gas station, just buy gas and maybe cigarettes, nigga. All that other shit, leave that shit in that motherfucking stove.
They finna be hit anyway. Look, if they already charging the prices they fucking charging now, nigga, when you can't get it, how much you gonna try to charge in the hood?
Exactly.
You're gonna be ransacking your shit.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Y'all sit here and miss.
But that's what they want.
Americans.
They want this shit
That's
to be
what I'm saying. They want Americans to snap. They want us to snap. They not fucking with these immigrants. They are protected by American code. I want to say it's 504 code. Bitch, they are protected. That's why you never see the popos fucking with no Asians. Why the Asians don't get fucked? Because their immigrant status protects them from this police state. And it's like, nigga, we need to be on that status. Since we all want to call us 3/5 human, bitch, we need to create our own goddamn category then. Because they ain't us and we ain't them. We've been here. Y'all put that story on us. We came in on ships. No, y'all came in on ships.
Yeah. Dane Calloway got all the footage of that shit.
Y'all put the shit on us. We don't want to work.
You don't even have it.
We don't want to work. We don't want to do nothing, nigga. We had 60 cities. 60 towns that we called our own. At least. That we called our own, that was fully functional with working toilets when white folks were still using outhouses.
You're talking about after antebellum slavery, right?
Right. Well, my thing is this.
We had our own shit before these motherfuckers.
Nigga, look at my ancestors' pictures on my altar. Do they look like they was living in slave quarters? Do any of my people look like they was living in slave quarters? All my old people, nigga, none of my people look like they was living in nobody's slave quarters. Okay? Even my granny said I'm like, nigga, yes. Work them to death. They worked to death. So black men died early back then. So when my granny's dad died,
what did he do?
Everything went with it. Like, shit. What did he do? I don't know what he did specifically, but like I know that we had like the iron bit, our people was doing the
Maybe
iron
your mom,
work.
though.
I know Aunt Susie told me we had a sewing, like a tailor store, like a tailor shop. Some of our uncles were tailors. And this is in Athens, Georgia now. This is the one where my aunt was basically the unofficial mayor of Athens, Georgia. Everybody named Mama knew who my Aunt Susie was. Okay? Everybody named Mama in Athens would come and speak to my Aunt Susie, and everybody used to call her the unofficial mayor of Athens. Never had no kids. Had nobody get that wealth to. See what I'm saying? Yeah.
The state took it.
Exactly. Or Eloise got it. Eloise got that money. That's who got that money.
Eloise?
My cousin on my granny's sister's, like my granny's other side of, like she's the family, but like she's like a third cousin kind of thing, third or fourth cousin.
And she came and claimed it. Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, no, she was the power of attorney for Aunt Susie.
Oh, well, then it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got it.
Oh yeah. Like I said, her whole family over there in Africa now chilling.
Wow.
If she ain't over there.
The come up.
The come up, nigga.
And didn't do right by
that was the rich side of our family.
Didn't do right by the people of the family.
That was our rich side of the family. Aunt Susie came from the rich side of the family. They represented, like I said, we had it going on. None of my elder pictures, none of them motherfuckers look like they came out of slave quarters. Now, am I saying it was poor black folks? Yeah. But all of us wasn't poor like that. Them pictures of that brother that would go around and taking pictures of all the black folks in the town, I can't think of his name, I put him on my positive page. That nigga was the first black photographer and was taking photography of all the black people. None of them motherfuckers look like they came out of slave quarters. All them motherfuckers was tight to death. So it's like we're missing a piece of the puzzle. They obviously lying. We were, like homeboy said, nigga, we was already functional. We already had he said, he broke it down, he's like, think about it. He said, the democracy in the land of the republic. He said, we already established a republic over here amongst the tribes. We were peaceful. We worked it out. You know what I'm saying? You over there, we over here, nigga, we good. They came over here and disrupted all that shit. Rewrote history, retaught history. Because, you know, we weren't dealing history with books. We were oracles. We passed down our history through the mouth. The crackers came over here and put everything in books, and that's how they retaught history. So I'm like, dude, there's gotta be truth to that. Cause like I was like, nigga, yes, my aunt talked about being enslaved. And she talked about when the Juneteenth, when they were announcing that they were free and they didn't know. All that shit is in her shit, dude. All that shit. And I'm like, the dialect that she even used, didn't that sound like no...
What was the name of the project?
The Freedoms Project. Freedoms, I gotta look it up. The Freedom Writers Project.
Ah, got it.
Where they put all the stories of the slave. It's a slave renditions of all the, you know, the stories of all the slaves. They in a collective piece. You know what I'm saying? And my great aunt is up in that motherfucker, bitch. And like her English didn't sound like how we talk today, but it didn't sound like she came from an African language and was dealing with broken language. No, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like listening to somebody talk Creole. They had their own shit, but you can tell, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nigga. And I ain't never, and like this chick responded on my page, she's like, I ain't never felt like I came from slavery. Like, she's like, I'm like, I feel you. I mean, we were enslaved. They fucked us over, reclassified us, divided the strong and the weak. The weak that the Buffalo Soldiers hunted for, nigga. They pinned us against each other, like they do now. And I'm like, nigga, why we ain't they little go to their own school? Even these Chaldeans got their own school for their kids, right? We the only motherfuckers that don't do that. That teach our kids outside of what's being taught in school. And I'm like, why we ain't, like, everybody ain't trying to learn the law right now? Like, why we ain't organized? We see shit getting fucked up. And we still ain't getting organized, nigga? Y'all waiting on Al Sharpton to say something? Bitch.
It's gonna come, the organization. It's gonna be just
like Marcus Garvey said. Exactly. Nigga, if you don't organize, the conditions will force you to
arise. It's gonna force you to do it.
And by then it's gonna be too late because these crackers are 100 steps ahead of us.
I ain't gonna say it's gonna be too late.
Oh no, like I told like I told him, nigga, we got 400 years of raise on our side, nigga. They underestimate that. And I was like, and don't believe for once that we make up 14% of this fucking country, nigga. We've been at 14% of this country for 50 years. Nigga, I'm like, have you ever filled out the census? Him and Clee was like, no. I'm like, nigga, we ain't even accounted for. So that proves right there that number ain't right. I ain't never filled out one of them bitches in my whole life. Okay? But we just 14%. No, nigga, we more than that. They just don't want to reveal that we make up most of this country, but because they're everywhere, they're all on the TV. Everything is focused on them. It gives us the illusion that it's more of them than it is of us. And when you think about it, they the ones that's all sprawled out. We're the ones that's forced and confined in small spaces. But nigga, like him, he live in the Carolinas, nigga. And I'm like, him, you're gonna have to be careful, keep your head on the fucking swivel. Cause they just pulled over Umar on Juneteenth. 20 cops. Cease and search. Why? Cause he had the Huey Newton gun club as his protection.
What do you mean as his protection?
As his, you know, like his, guards or whatever.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, this wasn't something that we publicly put on social media. He's like, this is like I said, we've been doing Juneteenth. We did not need no crackers' help. And I told him, I was like, they even that ice cream, they not even using the real colors. I'm like, dude, they got red, green, and yellow. That's the Ethiopian colors. They ain't even applying to us.
Who's using that?
That ice cream for Juneteenth. The colors they're using is the Ethiopian colors. Red, green, and yellow. I'm like, nigga, we red, green, and black. The Marcus Garvey. I'm like, that's what we about. I'm like, because they created the narrative, they not even putting the right colors on it. Ham's like, I didn't even know that. I didn't even notice. I'm like, yeah, dude. Red, green, and yellow is for the Ethiopians. The real Jews. Right? And I'm like, nigga, it's so much shit. It's like, you gotta connect the dots, but you gotta know a little something to be able to connect the dots and code and read through the code, because these crackers talking code. They got a whole communication system network made just for them. Why we ain't figuring no shit out like that? So I told him, I was like, I said, that happened with Umar in North Carolina, where Ham at. And them white boys was out there with them guns, like low key. The white boys were all standing back with the guns, and guess who were doing all the ceases and the searches? The black cops. All the white folks were standing back guarding with the guns. They had the black cops fucking with the black people, while they stood back and watched and entertained themselves. Dude, I'm like, dude, like we act like we not seeing the play. It's the same play. It's the same motherfucking play. And I'm like, they fucking with Umar? I'm like, oh, they just entertaining themselves right now. He ain't no threat to nobody. But they fucking with Umar now. They like, nigga, people know who you are, so we gotta instill this fear, so we gonna fuck with you. It take 20 cop cars, though, to surround a nigga to do that, though. Like he said, it's Juneteenth. This is the day we were supposed to be granted to, honor our ancestors, and I'm getting hemmed up at the gate, preventing me from handling my business with my people. See how they do? I'm like, nigga, they did that so they can have black folks congregated in one place so they can come and get all y'all motherfuckers. Be out here on July 4th if y'all want to. There's a reason why CERN is doing their highest testing on July 5th.
Really?
I'm like, is it coincidence? Yeah, I said, is it coincidence or counterattack? Coincidence or counterattack?
Counterattack for what?
Because that's when black folks say, nigga, July 4th, we ain't spending no money. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't buying shit. They like, get all your shit now. And it's also kind of helping black folks to get prepared. Get your shit now. So when July 4th roll around, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't bothering nobody. Ain't nobody gonna be bothering you. Be with your family. And that's it. And from that day forward, continue that mantra. I've been on that shit, nigga. I hate that I got to go on fucking Myers and shop with these motherfuckers. I'd much rather spend the higher amount of money and go to these mama papa spots, but they still white too. Nigga, can I go somewhere black? Can I go to somewhere and get somebody black some money in exchange for commerce? Can we do that? Oh, can't. We're in the blackest city in Detroit, and they don't even have a fucking major grocery chain out there. Ain't no grocery chains in Detroit.
Yes, it is.
No. What is it?
Whole
Foods?
That's a grocery
It's
chain.
one Whole Foods, and that's downtown.
But that's a grocery chain, and I understand that, but it's there. For them crackers.
Exactly. That's built around that hospital. And who's working in that hospital? Them crackers who come in from the suburbs to work in Detroit. Okay? That's the only location there's a fucking grocery store. And it's a grocery store where, bread is $7. Like a black motherfucker will go up in there and shop every day.
Oh, $4 for that one orange that's wrapped in
exactly.
plastic. Because it's cut.
So miss me. Like I said, Detroit don't have no grocery stores. That grocery store is not for the Metro.
No.
That grocery
an
store is
inaccurate
not
statement.
for Metro Detroit.
It is if you got the money.
Have you seen the state of Detroit lately? Where they got that money at?
Palmer Woods, Rosedale Park.
And those are all the baby boomers who are about to die off in them houses. All that property over there, them old folks. Because I was thinking about that the other day, like when these baby boomers die the fuck off, especially ones who got the candy. What's gonna happen to their property and all of that shit? What's gonna happen to these houses that these motherfuckers are living, beautifully in when they all drop like flies? Because the baby boomers are at the end of their time, nigga. Here's why we got all this madness and chaos going on to fight for the throne. Because the baby boomers were the ones who kind of kept the balance. Because they're the only demographic of white folks that were raised by black people. The baby boomers. That's why they're the only ones who actually had like a moral substance to them. As the ones who were directly linked to black people raising them during segregation. And them motherfuckers about to die off. And is the world not changing? Is the world not changing? I was like, they was the vanguards, nigga. And they were blessed because of it. They all living well, most of them professional. Them baby boomers did good for themselves. But at least they had a moral compass.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
That ain't all of them, but I'm just saying, them baby boomers are dying off and these motherfuckers are fighting for the fucking throne, nigga. They fighting for the throne. And I'm like, we gonna act like that Trump and Bush didn't put them people in fucking Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, we gonna act like that because I asked Clee last night, like, Clee, you got any babies? Yeah, you made any babies? He's like 33. He's like, no. He's like, I'm really scared now. I'm like, nigga. I was shocked he said he ain't had no kids. I was like, what? Because, Clee handsome. Clee is like, who does Clee look like? He might not look like that no more, but when we was kids, he looked like he's the equivalent of, I want to say Tyrese, but not really, because he's better looking than Tyrese. But he dark skinned.
I didn't know people thought Tyrese was fine.
That's what I'm saying. He better looking than Tyrese, but he kind of got that.
I didn't know that was
bald
the thing.
head.
I just thought
dark skin.
Because he can sing, you can sing. You don't give a fuck how you look.
Yeah, so Clee old school buddy. Like he knows all our secrets. Like we was all laugh about it. Like they can imagine we had cell phones. Like, we all would be felons. He's like, Ham was like, nigga, I'm already.
He only 33.
Ham was like, well, not 33. Like, no, because Ham, shit. How old is Ham? I'm
way older than 33.
Yeah, way older than 33. So yeah,
I'm like, damn.
I'm like, nigga, if
y'all
that nigga
walking around with a preschooler and shit.
I'm like, if that nigga ain't had no kids, nigga, you ain't about to have no kids. Because, yeah, he older than 33. I just thought about that. Like, yeah, nigga, if you ain't had no kids by now, you ain't about to have none. But see, Clee, when we were in high school, this is how him and him got closer. Because him and him were.
I'm wondering, is he the Clee? How did he spell his name?
Why you say that?
Yeah, we got a Clee became supervisor at our plant. About our age.
No, he said he work in Inkster. I think he work out there. He might be working because the way he was explaining his job, nigga, he said I start work at 4 in the morning. He said I had to go off on this Greek because he's like, you come in and said, you're focused, and he's like, we already started our work. He said I was already in my groove, and then this crack wanted to come and block my way, and he's like, now I gotta like try to readjust. He's like, no, man. He's like, I got all my shit. Told that motherfucker get the fuck out of my way. they telling their stories last night. I was like, nigga. I was like, man, dude, I gotta walk off the floor when I be in my job ready to smack a motherfucker, dude. I'm like, nigga, I be so triggered so many times at work. I'm like, that's why I be tired, because I'm triggered. Watching that motherfucker walk out with all that milk last night triggered me. Not seeing no eggs on the shelf triggers me. Finding salmon in my yogurt spot triggers me. Nigga, they lays, oh my God, they just lay that. This is why I don't buy nothing from that stove. Nigga, I'm looking at the watermelon, the cut up watermelon in the little plastic bin. Nigga sitting over there in the bakery. I'm like, how long that shit been sitting there?
Don't matter, you gotta throw it out.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't know how long.
And then my thing is like, I don't know if these motherfuckers who are Chaldeans working up in there see this shit and be like, well, you know, this been sitting out, we gotta throw it. How we know they not putting that shit back on the shelf?
Are you supposed to have that training?
So that's why I don't buy nothing from that stove. All that food, and I don't fuck with it because these motherfuckers pick shit up and they have no consideration that food spoils when you lay shit out and don't put it back where you got it from. Because that bitch, that ain't where you got it from. That's my thing. You didn't get it from there. So why are you putting the salmon in the fucking cereal aisle? And then by the time somebody discovers it's sitting over there, nigga, I don't know how long that shit been sitting over there. I grab it, put it on my shelf, and I'm like, nigga, I don't know what happens out of that. You think I'm about to buy some salmon out that stove? I'm not fucking with they salmon. Nigga, I found too many salmon fillets laying around this motherfucking store, just laying around this stove. Unrefrigerated. And you think I'm about to buy a fillet of salmon, nigga? No, they don't have no... They are so inconsiderate when it comes to this shit, dude. Like they don't want nobody else. If they ain't got it, they don't want nobody else to have it. I don't know if it's the culture, or we're just being hit with immigrants that ain't used to having nothing. Because there is a lot of, I swear to God, that shit Russian, nigga. I'm trying not to be paranoid, but I'm like, nigga, I know what them Chaldeans sound like, bitch. You don't sound Chaldean and you don't look Chaldean. I know what Asians sound like. You don't sound Asian and you don't look Asian. You look white. What kind of white are you though? Are you Polish white, Russian white, Greek white, Italian white? What kind of white are you? Okay?
My question is, do it fucking matter?
Yes, when you walking around this motherfucker looking like you in Disneyland with your 4 kids and nobody speaking English.
Why does that matter?
Because they brand new. You can tell the brand new. You can tell the ones who just got here. You can tell the ones who just got here. Like I said, dude, there's a reason why I'm in this job, in this particular store, at this particular location. God meant for me to see this shit, dude. I'm like, the game is fucking rigged, yo. These immigrants living better than black folks all day long, every day.
And shocked?
It shouldn't be like that.
I mean, I agree, but
shouldn't be like that at all.
Don't be shocked.
No, it's not a matter of being shocked. I'm irate about it. I'm irate. Fuck shock, nigga. I'm irate. I know what it's about. But the fact that it's in our face and they're in a little hub, tucked away, with nobody saying nothing, no black people around to take offense to it. So yeah, they're in their little world, in their little bubble, doing as they do. While black folks out here suffering like a motherfucker and everything blamed on us. I'm irate and I'm sick of that shit. I'm sick of that narrative. It's like Ham said. He said they expect us to be goons and violent. He said, he said initially I'm smiling, opening up doors. I'm cordial, I'm polite. He said, but once, he said, I can read a motherfucker in the first 3 seconds. He said, but once a motherfucker say some crazy off the wall, outlandish shit, then he's like, I'm checking them motherfucking honkies. He was like just in the restaurant, almost causing a goddamn chaos, a chaotic situation. Popos was called, because Ham married now. So all you hear is the wife in the background, calm down, Ham, calm down.
Well, that's what he said.
Well, the wife got crumped because the white boy was talking about Ham while Ham was out having a cigarette trying to calm down from going off on all these white folks, who basically put him at a fucked up table, but was seating white folks in the booths, and had the black people over here next to the door with a line of everybody trying to come in and eat, so everybody talking. He was like, bitch, nigga, we tried to come in here and have a meal. I had tried to come in and have a meal with my wife. And y'all trying to play us? So, of course, Ham puts on the scene. He good for that. That nigga put on the scene. He's like, yeah, I gave them crackers a chance to redeem themselves. He said, once they didn't do that, nigga, he said, I went the fuck off. He said, Popos was there and everything. He said, I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, that's pretty much where I'm at with it, Ham. I said, but do be careful, because North Carolina, nigga, you out there in them Carolina, you dealing with them special whites out there. Pick your battles, nigga, pick your battles. I said, you want to be here for the big battle. You know what I'm saying? You want to be here for the real fight.
So how you like that cheater?
That what?
Cheater. Because they keep promoting it on these signs.
Cheater? What the fuck is cheater?
Them trees. They came in that little half joints.
Oh, that shit is off the chain. I need to get
They
some
was at
more.
Breeze yesterday.
I might have to,
7.
now you gave me that cash, I might have to go pick up some more of them. I forgot about that. And I got that from Puff, the Michigan grown shit. That's where I picked that shit up from. I forgot about that. Now I got the little extra cash, I can do that. I mean, cause I'm still on that Gorilla Glue. But I need a B12 with that Gorilla Glue. Cause that Gorilla Glue make you don't want to do nothing.
Yeah, Gorilla Glue got you stuck.
I be stuck at work, nigga. So I gotta take a shot of that B12, nigga, to balance that shit out. I be high as hell up in that bitch, but I be zip, 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 zip. And that missing a beat, because I'm high, so I'm highly observant. Nigga, I be up in that motherfucker clowning. That motherfucker, I be like, man. So I had to step to Eddie, the general manager. I'll talk about that off camera though, about me trying to get a transfer about it. This motherfucker, and we got some new white boy walking around there with district manager all up in my business. I'm like, oh, since I'm just meeting you, okay, I guess I can indulge. I did say that, not knowing I'm talking to a district manager. I'm like, bitch, I don't know you.
So why are you talking to him?
I wasn't talking to him. I was talking to Eddie. He intervened all up in my shit. And I'm like, who the fuck is you?
That's where you should have checked him.
I kind of checked him, nigga, but I didn't. It was like, I didn't.
Don't matter, because he ain't got no business talking.
As soon as I said something, I looked at the pad and I'm like, I'm talking to a district manager like that. So I had to kind of calm my little tone down. I had to code switch. Because I'm like, I'm getting triggered.
No, dude, unionize. The motherfucker ain't supposed to be talking to you. You got this protocol, bitch.
Yeah, talking about who's Nate? I'm like, that's the union guy. And I'm like, and you are? Like, bitch.
That's what I'm saying. The fact that you the district manager and don't even know who represents your store, bitch, mean you don't respect the union or motherfuckers don't be calling.
Because I'm like asking Eddie, has Nate talked to you? Has Marcus from another store? You know that motherfucker asked me, how did you know Marcus was over there? I said, because I was blind calling Kroger's. And he picked up the phone. I'm like, oh, a familiar voice. So what you thinking, we trying to sabotage some shit, nigga? I didn't know that motherfucker was over there.
First of all, what do you mean? How do I know Marcus is over there?
But I left it alone.
Because I'd have been like, Marcus worked, man.
I left it alone, dude. I'm like, these crackers trying to intimidate me. And I'm like, looking at it, and you know what I said? I said, you know what? If I can't get what I need here at Kroger, I guess I just got to go to Amazon. And I walked away. I'll go to Amazon. Nigga, I'll take all this work skill to Amazon, bitch. I'm like, he's like, how long you been? I'm like, I'm going on my 5th year. He's like, you ain't full-time yet? No. In front of Eddie ass. Yeah,
no,
bitch.
Why would you hide that? It ain't no in front. Why would you hide that? So now he looking at Eddie like, what's the problem?
Yeah. She a good, bitch. You see how that dairy looking, bitch? I'm a good worker, bitch. I'm an asset to this company, bitch. And I'm fighting that nigga. What? I can't even get full time. I can't get the. You mean to tell me motherfuckers who just coming in this bitch making the same amount of money I'm making? And I've been in this bitch 5 years. And y'all promised us an incentive and I ain't got it yet. Everybody, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand the system. Everybody got an excuse why they can't get shit done. So I'm like, that conversation was meant to be had in front of his ass. So, yeah, I don't know if that motherfucker there watching they ass. He might be there trying to see what the fuck going on in that motherfucking stuff. I don't know what's going on, because he knew. I'm like, because when we passed in the hallway, I was like, have you seen Eddie? He was like, no. I'm like, are you a manager? He was like, no. I was like, oh, okay, excuse me. I didn't see the badge then. Then when I went on my break, came back looking for Eddie, before he go home, bitch, I'm going to find you before you go home, bitch. I was like, I need your signature. For what? A transfer. I'm not signing that until I talk to Marcus. I said, what? I looked at him like, what? I said, me and Nathan already talked about this. I'm supposed to get, he's like, and now I was like, let me call Marcus and see what's going on. They don't want to lose me, nigga. They don't want to lose me.
Well, they got to give you what the fuck you want.
Thank you. We playing chess now, bitch. What y'all gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Because actually, and I told that district man, I said, I'm making $118 a day, and I said $80 goes in my tank every day. Because I'm commuting twice a day. Because I'm working nights, and my man worked during the days at Chrysler. Since you got to be all up in my business, he was like, he's like, so why don't you just do an emporium? I said, I'm up in fucking Detroit at 5 a.m. in the morning every day. Why go back home? No, I need to stay up here so we can commute back together. That's the goal. I said, you understand the method to my madness now? He's like, I get it. Yeah, nigga, I'm working basically for free. Y'all got me up in this bitch basically working for free. Because of this gas shit.
And you transfer because that Port Huron wouldn't give you no hours.
Exactly. So why would I want to go back to that nepotism ass fucking cesspool? Both north side and south side are like that. Because like I told Nate, I said my last goal is like I work at the south side. I work there because I'm like, when you leave north side, that's an automatic transition. You leave north side, you go to the south side stuff. I was like, I don't want to work there because they just like the north side. I don't want to work there. I said, but I will. I'm sure I can get it. But, you know, I'm like, dude, I don't know if I'm coming or going sometimes, dude. I be up in this bitch with 4 hours of sleep.
Don't open that door, because I got to rearrange some shit. Bag
yeah,
fail.
you definitely got to I see it. It's all...
Yeah. That was my man. Go ahead, I got it. You got to do what you do. I got it. Thank you. Get your cigarette.
Okay. Wait a minute. This must be like, is it Saturday or something?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm like, where the traffic at?
It's Saturday.
Yeah, because I'm like, where the traffic at? I'm like, wait a minute. This don't feel right. Something's off. I'm like, okay, it must be Saturday or something. I got 2 more days.
That bitch tried to roll all the way under the motherfucking...
That's crazy. Nigga, you do have a lot of shit, though. I don't know how you do it every day. Like I said, did he look African? No, he looked Indian, nigga. He looked Indian. Indian. We Indians. It's like you said, we're. That's our common denominator, but nigga, we some other. You just gonna leave a chair like that for real? Wow. You just gonna leave a chair like that? Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
One more thing to add to your.
I got that toast.
Oh wow. You got it?
Oh, yeah.
You got everything?
Get my straw. You don't see that drink right?
Oh wow.
Oh, we got.
Yeah, nigga, you got way too much shit, dude. You be in there feeding motherfuckers?
No, nigga, this is my shit. Breakfast and lunch. And my drinks.
Enjoy. Have a good day.
All right. Still close. All right, babe.
Thank you for joining the Commute Chronicles, episode 30. Like, subscribe, and share the channel to help build our audience. We appreciate you coming by. Keep your head on the swivel by any means necessary. Peace.